Hi everyone, I'm Hemant Baliwala and I'm a technical information developer with BMC software. So disclaimers, warnings, I have been asked to behave myself during my presentations, which I generally don't do. I'll be jumping around here and there, so please track me. I might put someone in the spot, so please bear with me if I embarrass you. And I was asked to wear a blazer for my presentation because they wanted me to be formal and this is my blazer. So you know what to expect. So thank you so much for staying for this presentation, and we'll be talking about interactive graphics. And please remind me to breathe while I'm talking because I talk really fast. So interactive graphics is what I'll be talking about. So what is it that we would be covering in interactive graphics? Oops, not this. क्या करूं? So the agenda is going to be completely organic. We will be building the presentation based on what you want to know, based on your queries. You are the user today, and I'm a technical communicator. That's it. You're not technical communicators. Leave that baggage behind. That was a session earlier. We are going home. We're going home as users. So you all are going to be the users for this session. So please wear your user hat. So for a moment, let's relive a text moment. As a user, when I give you a user guide full of text, nice, beautifully edited text, what do you feel? What are your first few nice, beautiful emotions? What do you imagine? Come on, it's beautiful, yeah? We all love text. We're technical writers. I love reading and I love text. It's very relaxing. No, come on. It's amazing. Exactly. Be nice to technical writer. Come on, I'm the only one in this room. Be nice. Try to be nice to me. What do you feel when you read text? No. Come on, you earn salary being technical writer. Say good things about text. You get salary to write. You don't get salary to read. So, few more things. Come on, let it come out. You're the user. Let's feel how it feels to be a user. Let's empathize with our user. What do you feel? You sleep? You don't? Find? Yes, good. Anything else?
If your text answers my question, I'm happy.
My text does answer the question. Good one. Thank you. Yeah? You get lost. Wonderful. It's difficult to comprehend. You don't understand where to start. Where do I end? What else? Search. That is there. We are doing metadata. All that. We are doing for searching, right? What else? You would look for some visual pleasure. Anything else? Is this? At the end of it, I read this whole page. I didn't want this. I needed something else. I wasted 15 minutes reading at it, right? Could there be a quicker way of telling me this is not what you're looking for? Something else you should be looking for. So, finding is a problem when it comes to text. I'm not saying text is bad. Please remember, I love text and there's a reason why we use text. Reading is tiresome, right? Establish the context. We talk of topic-based writing. I come to this topic. Where does it fit? What do I do after this? What do I do before this? Do we get to do? How do we do it? Through text, it's difficult. TOC. Click here, then here, then here, then here, then here, then here. Right? Comprehend. You mentioned, how do I comprehend? Correlate. When I'm reading, it's not Harry Potter that I can visualize and be happy about it. It's technical documentation. The customer needs to know exactly what the customer is reading. They need to know what exactly they need to do. Right? We were using screenshot once upon a time. We stopped doing that. Why? And recall. How many of you recall something you read in your childhood? What? Stories, but why? Yeah. So in stories. What else? Basics, fundamentals. If I give you a task which was written on a paper which you read like 3 or 4 months ago, would you remember that? Would you remember an image? Why? The recall value. The recall value. Does the text provide us that recall value? To an extent. Why no smoking is always a cigarette with a zero? Why just written no smoking, no one cares. We put lungs and all that stuff and people still smoke. So let's look at a few examples of interactive graphics, and then you tell me how this experience changes for you. Okay? So this is a patch. I won't get into details of it. It talks about installing a patch. What is this patch about? It tells me here and here itself. Where do I download the patch from? I go over here. I know where to download the patch from. Download location, what are the patch contents? I understand there are two patches, one for ITSM, one for BPM. Please don't go into the technicalities of it, just focus on the example. Now I want to install the ITSM patch first. Where do I go? I click on installing the ITSM component. I come over here. What do I need to install? I need to take a backup, run the installation, and then I need to perform the post-installation task. I'm done with this. Let me install the second patch. I go to BPPM, take the backup, run the installation, I perform the post-installation tasks. Now what remains? The configuring of the patch. I go over here. 3 options I need to do. 4 things I need to do. Now can someone tell me what do I need to do to install the BPPM patch? Where do I need to go? Find it. It's difficult. I click here. Right? How much time did I spend in doing that? Now imagine I write all this information. But it's important to write. What we are giving over here is a summary. But there is a lot more to this. And then I click over here and I then go to the online documentation. As a user, in the first few minutes, what I need to know, I know it over here itself. Then I go to online documentation. I can visualize whole thing, where the change is. I know what the context is. It's for configuring. I know when do I need to do it after I finish these 4 stages. After I install my BPPM component, I need to go for configuring. I know the context. I didn't have to search for the information. I know where that step fits in the entire process. And how much time? 4, 5, 6 minutes, if you are an expert user. Let's look at another example. What's new? Release notes. God. This is again another patch. How many of you would actually document release notes in themes? Nice. Useful for you. How many of you? Themes, right? So you have these multiple enhancements which fit into a certain theme. If I'm a marketing person, and I'm back, sorry, your name? Rashid is my customer. I want to sell Rashid this intelligent ticketing patch. Don't look at that. I give you a document. So this is an intelligent ticketing patch, please buy it. It gives you these many features. It's 25, 30 pages. Can you please buy it? You need to look at it. I give this interactive graphic. You know the solution. So you need to buy this patch. We provide you solution implementation, optimized collaboration, rich context, expanded routing, enhanced incident governance, and improved incident creation. I'll tell you how it is good. So by providing you solution implementation, we are giving a solution patch, we are helping you to configure a solution, and we are giving you solution documentation. There is optimized collaboration because of this. There is rich context and content and context in incidents because of this. There is expanded routing because of this. There is enhanced incident governance because of this, and there is improved incident creation because of this. Do you know what we are selling to you now? Now, understand the impact a graphic can create. You don't have to actually read. You're looking at the information. So what is the technical writer I'm doing? I'm not reporting. I'm enabling. Normally we write to inform. Right? The customer will face a problem, then they will come to the documentation, then they'll do this. This thing will enable the customer. I need to install the ITSM patch or this entire intelligent ticketing patch because I want to do this. This enables the customer. Why am I doing it? So that's these are a couple of examples. And now again we'll go back to the experience slide. Yes, please. Yeah, please interrupt me. That's the way I talk. That is communities? Yeah. Yeah.
so far as I can visualize it. The online help seems to be standing somewhere different, and this is
No,
somewhere
so these
different.
graphics are embedded within the online help. This is part of the documentation. This is not something that we deliver separately.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's fine.
Yeah. Yes. In the later, and I'll show it later how it's work.
How about localization?
Good question. I'll come to that. Thank you. Because we have a localization expert who is going to answer the question. I have people everywhere in my audience who are going to help me. Yes, please.
The question is when you have so many graphics or images in your documentation, how do you localize to different languages? So what I see, the biggest hurdle for graphics is localization. So it's just introduce
myself for those who don't know me. I'm also a globalization
Can you
manager
help me?
apart from being an information development manager at IBM. So what we do is we localize or globalize all our products. These graphics are fairly easy to globalize. It's all text. Most of it is text. So you just need to translate the text and you'll be done. But if you're asking whether it's simple or difficult and whether it should be an obstacle to go this way, I would say we should not think about it in that way. A lot of our documentation or the way we seem to be finding reasons to not do something interesting or innovative. As organizations, they impede us, saying, hey, how do you localize this? You know what? You don't have to localize it today. You don't have to globalize it today or whatever. Take your time doing it. You took your time to do this, so you can take time to doing it. And there will be some skill or expertise that's required. But looking at these graphics in particular, they are not images. They are not screenshots. So they are fairly easy to globalize because all you need to do is translate the text that is within it and you're good.
Okay.
That's one side of the problem. The other side of the problem is when you have different versions of the same product and you have multiple guides to take care of, and each guide containing its own images and graphics. That's when the problem occurs.
So the number of images you'll have, it's multiplied by that, your problem, right? But the solution is still the same. So if you can't do it today, do it in spurts. And if your organization is telling you not to do today, say customer satisfaction is going to go up because you're going to do this. You say you have, by my statistics, 70% of the world uses non-English documentation. So it's a huge number. Okay? But at least you're helping 30% customers. Okay, so that's the case you can make. Sorry, Hemant, if I took long time.
No, thank you so much. It helped me. So, find the text. Now let's relive an information moment. Find, establish the content, read, comprehend, correlate, recall. I just showed you how it actually feels when you use interactive graphics. So we did a user testing. It's not just because I'm saying it. We did a user testing of these first primary two graphics that we had built. And let's see what the customers have to say. And then I'll jump into the actual whole main presentation around the interactive graphics. So the what's new interactive graphic, we asked them, did you understand what the enhancement was? How many of them just got it? How many had to figure out? How many had to struggle? And how many actually failed? Did you understood where the enhancement has been made in your entire solution? There's a result they had to figure out, most of them. Did you get links to additional information? Was there progressive disclosure? Did you got the links at the right place? That's what they say. And did you understand the context of the image? Are they just good looking images or they're really working for you? So these are the results for that. Then we did a usability test around the content navigation experience. Did you understand where the buttons were? They had to figure out. Did you understand the navigation, the overall navigation? They had to figure out. Did you understand the links? They had to figure out. This was the first graphic that they tested. What I want to come is to the user learning. After the first graphic, they get it. The behavior changed. So when we had that session on innovation yesterday, innovation is essentially how you change the user behavior. So after the first graphic, their behavior changed. So when they came to the installation graphic, this is what the results were. Did you get the sequence of how do you need to install? the results. Did you understand how many packages you need to install? Most of them got it. Did you got links to the additional information? Most of them got it. Did you understand that them had to figure out? So we looked into this entire feedback and we developed a new graphic. So that is what I'll be presenting you today. This is something that we are going to be releasing in the next week. So I have a glimpse, and while explaining that graphic, I'll tell you what all elements actually go into designing an interactive graphic. So I was just talking to some of you before the session, and I had a very interesting discussion with Sneha over here. So she was talking about how she has been given a piece of documentation that she has to document. So she was very new to this organization, and she didn't know what she had to document fits into the entire cycle. Maybe Sneha, you can talk more about that. I love putting people in this spot.
I was trying to tell you that it's very important as a user to know what fits and where it fits. So as a writer also, when I'm new to a product, I also should have that overview of the product, and I should know or at least get a demo or tutorial on the product that I'm going to document. So sometimes at that particular point I was put into a situation where I was to document a feature, but I did not know the whole product. And so my questions was, where is it, what is it, what will happen afterwards, why does the user have to do it now? And I had to create my own mind map to correlate the things to understand, which took a lot of time also. And that is when my manager's stand was like, it's okay, you're new, you'll learn. But my stand was, I need to know it now because I'm writing now. And the same questions the user will also ask. So that was when something like this, like a visual would help came up.
So I'm Sneha's manager, if you don't know. Yeah, so I'm going to give Sneha a small task of documenting. Yeah, so Sneha, you have to document about delta data migration.
I don't know what's delta.
So Sneha doesn't know what delta data migration is and where it fits. So let's help Sneha to understand where delta data migration fits in an installation procedure. So at the end of these 4 minutes, you have to tell me whether you get it or not. If you don't get, you're fired.
I'll try.
You have to say yes.
Oh my God.
Can I go to... So Sneha, basically, delta data migration is part of the installation. So what the customer or what you would get to see over here, because I don't have internet connection, there's a video which will be uploaded over here. So the video will talk to you about the entire installation procedure, what installation comprises of. This ITSM suite has around 8 to 9 different components you need to install. There are various combinations in which you have to install. There is parallel, there is in place, there is SAS, there are these different creating delta data migration and creating overlays. Sneha doesn't know anything of that. So this video will help Sneha to understand the entire procedure. Then Sneha decides, I should look at a complete suite upgrade, right? That's better, I'll get to know everything in that. So what does Sneha do? Yeah, you click, you just got it.
Yeah.
So you click complete suite upgrade. Over here, it tells you what does suite upgrade contains, what is the scope, what are the paths, overlay environment, non-overlay environment, and then I understand what a suite upgrade is. There are 2 options, there is parallel and in place. Now let me choose the parallel option, correct? I choose the parallel upgrade option. It gives me this entire diagram of what are the different steps of what happens in different server, and here is delta data migration.
Yeah.
This is where delta data migration fits in the entire process. It happens before something this and something happens after that. This is what you have to document. But now what is the definition of delta data migration? What happens in DDM? You are not going to the documentation yet. You've not gone.
So you click run DDM.
Oh wow, look at the user, they're smart, huh? I click on run DDM. This is what you have to do. Now, which topic do I need to edit? Don't go back to the docs.
Perform the data.
You click on details.
Ooh.
That will take you to documentation. Will you document DDM?
No.
Still won't do it. Yeah, we'll have a one-on-one later on.
I'm supposed to say yes or sorry.
So that's how happens, a complex installation procedure because of progressive disclosure, because of using images. You know, we are helping customers to take decision. So when you design interactive graphics, what is important, you have to understand those decision points. So what are the decision points that we see in this? I go back, I go to home. The first thing that I want our customers to know is understand the philosophy of this entire big process. So now understand the whole progressive disclosure. I'm helping you to understand the entire philosophy of the upgrade. Based on that understanding, you make a decision. And at each decision, I'm adding a button. So every click is basically nothing but a decision that a customer makes, or a decision that you want the customer to make. After looking at the philosophy, I make a decision. I want to upgrade an entire suite, or I want to just upgrade my platform. I choose to upgrade the entire suite. Till now, I don't know what is there inside that. I'm not overwhelmed yet. If I give you those 900 pages, you'll, oh my God, there is so much. For now, it's just 3 things for you. You choose to upgrade an entire suite because you know why you're doing it. I click on this. Then I get to know there is another video which talks about what the suite upgrade comprises of. There are 2 ways of doing it. A parallel and in place. Again, a customer needs to make a decision. What is that? Choose a path. Right? How will you choose a path? The video helps me to do that. Right? So what I'm doing is I'm using videos as a complement. The video is complementing this text and this interactive graphic. I make a decision. I want to do a parallel upgrade. I come over here. I'm using an image. You should be. If you're an expert user, if you know what it is, you need not look at it. First time users or consultants, they would need it. Then this graphic tells me what are the end-to-end steps. Yeah. So I get to know, now I'm using a graphic over here. I used a video, now I'm using a graphic. A graphic is going to help me to visualize the process, but I also need text. It's very important to use text. I click on this text. There is text over here which talks about what it takes to plan. And when I click on this details, it will take me to documentation. No internet, so it won't work. It will take me to the exact documentation. So are you understanding what is happening over here is like we are catering to all the personas at one time. If I'm an administrator, I need to worry about it. If I'm a person who's taking the business decision of installing or upgrade, I need not click that details button. I'm done over here. I know what to expect. So in the same graphic, we're not only taking care of all the personas, but we're helping them to find the right information when they need it. So can anyone guess how many pages this entire graphic would summarize? How many? No. Higher, bit higher. Bit higher. 500. This one interactive graphic summarizes 500 pages. These are 501, last final, 501, final, big gear. So it is sold. So this one interactive graphic, it summarizes 500 pages, and this topic would be published on 12th of December. It's open, you can always go and have a look at it. Just log into the BMC docs. Yes sir, I just have 2 minutes, right? I have one final thing. I'll come to that. You can use it any way you want it. Yeah, so any person who joins my team, and if I have to give an induction on installation, this is where you do. You look at this and you know the entire thing. It took me 3 months to understand the installation procedure. 3 months just to understand the installation procedure. Yeah, so it takes time. The content building doesn't take time, but understanding is anyways going to take time, right? So I'll show you a very generic example so you can go back home without worrying about the technology. Again, this is what I've done. There is theme 1, theme 2, theme 3. And theme 1 is about the what's new theme, something more that we can do. When I come to theme 2, it tells me that this theme 2 is applicable to component 4 and component 3. I just take my cursor over there. It tells me that theme 2 about performance, let's say performance, it's affect component 3 and 4. I click on theme, whatever I clicked on theme 1. It tells me that, okay, these are the enhancements were made. So this is how you can use interactive graphics, one small example. And the important person. So who gave me this idea of creating interactive graphics? You think it's very technical? How many of you think it's very technical or it's basic logic? Logic? Yes, thank you.
That's it. I actually wanted to go out of this session. Listening to the interactive class.
Thank you for staying back. And your words were really encouraging, what you said earlier. This is the person who actually inspired me to think of interactive graphics. That's Ruchi. Ruchi is not my daughter, my friend's daughter. So Ruchi is studying in Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Vidya Mandir in Pune. She's in 5th standard. Ruchi takes the meaning of her name literally and shows Ruchi in interest in everything that she does. And besides a love for drawing, art, craft, cooking, dancing and dressing up, Ruchi displays leadership skills in a circle of friends and bosses over her little sister all the time. So what did Ruchi did? Ruchi was given an assignment on Colombo. Congo, sorry, thank you. He knows my session better than me. So she was given an assignment on Congo. What can you think of Congo? What comes to your mind when you think of Congo? This is what she did. When she thought of Congo, it's a mind map made by a 5th standard child. She thought of a jungle. Congo reflects a jungle. So she put that jungle in the center. That's Congo for me. What does Congo has? The relief features or the terrain. She made a mountain. She drew a mountain there. Then what does it has? It has forest. So she made trees. Animals. So she drew an elephant. Language and people. So she drew a person. Minerals. So she drew stones. Transport. She drew a boat. And then culture. She made a drawing which typical people in Congo made. Did she write? She showed us what Congo is. And you understand Congo today. That's what interactive graphics is. And sir, your question about the tools, so the presentation that I've shared with STC, it covers the detailed steps of how you actually build up a interactive graphics. So use PowerPoint. You are not designers, use PowerPoint. You can design your graphics in PowerPoint and you build them in Captivate. So the entire presentation that I've shared with STC, it has step 1, step 2, step 3. Go them, follow them, you'll be able to build interactive graphics. Thank you so much and I'll breathe now.
Offline, you can ask the questions offline to Hemant. Title indicates it's interactive.